assigned to anything unless you have a system of words. Nothing can exist unless it has a name. All of these is what I mean by molecules all sustaining and having a building block, a formation where they all is ordained under universal principles to allow existence based on each other. Now, the name has to have a way of being implemented into this whole intricate fabric. So that's the reason for a system of words to come apart. Now watch this. Before there was words spoken by human beings, I bet you there was a language spoken between the elements. That's the reason why you hear in the creation story someone saying, let us make man in our image. Okay, now watch. Everybody break that down to being God. That's what the Europeans call it. They call it God. I'm going to tell you what my readings of all this metaphysics stuff has brought me to the conclusion of accepting as a serious way of orchestrating a thought pattern of how everything is created in our universe. It's created by this entity or this energy that we know as melanin. That's this blackness. This blackness we got. Now, back to words and why our language had to be changed. This creator element known as melanin, when it made us, since everything was synonymous with what I just described to you from the subatomic building blocks, which we could call spirit. Are you understanding me on that? This,
yeah, that's what you about to say.
The subatomic, right, the subatomic building blocks, which we call melanin, is the spirit realm or this feminine essence that creates everything from its smaller templates to its greatest achievement of design for it to be started anyway. The initiation of everything is returned to its God self. So between all that from initiation back to God, there's a whole lot of complex existences that you must go through. One of those existences that you must go through, believe it or not, is a language and a word. Because you be a language before you could be an entity. You talking about what the fuck is he talking about? Well, this is what I mean. Your mother and your father is walking around here claiming the language and the nationality before you even born. And when you're born, that's what you're born into. Now that language that you're born into, if undisturbed, it should be a language that was given to you by your universal creator that you could talk to your universal creator in. Once someone wants to oppress you and make you become their property, what they got to do is steal you away from your creator. And the way they steal you away from your creator is by giving you a language to talk to them in and taking the language that you talk to your creator in away from you.
Whoa,
you understand what I'm saying?
I think that was the reason there. Yeah,
that was the whole reason.
Was the main reason.
The main, that's right. To put an interruptance.
You communicated to your creator and it gave you a language that you can talk to them in.
That's right. So he took your creator language that you and your creator communicate in away from you and created a language for you and him to communicate in. And you better believe that the only people that was wise enough to see a reason to do that had to be melanated people who had knowledge. See, let me explain to you. He couldn't have figured that out. It took a melanated person to tell him that.
Not that intelligent.
That's right. It had to take a black person that. Look, wait a minute, hold on, wait. Don't use the word was like they gone. We got worse niggas than that on the planet right now. They still here.
These niggas are still here, over there.
Man, please believe it, they still here. They ain't going nowhere, bruh.
Oh, dude, look, on record, man, we don't want to talk about them. Let's keep it. We gotta find them. Them's the niggas you want to find and pinpoint. You don't want to talk about them so they can pinpoint us. Let's find them first.
Well, you don't have to find them.
I want them niggas to be exposed so we can all go and fuck them up.
Look, let me ask you a question, okay?
What?
And I want you to be on the up and up with me on this, all right?
All right.
As loud and as ignorant as the average black person is, it won't be hard to find them, and especially won't be hard to find an unconscious black brother, because the only thing you got to do to find an unconscious brother that fit the description of what I just described to you is go hang out at the Christian churches.
Yep, there you go.
And listen, wait, it gets better than that. You will see them actually being crack dealers, pimps and every damn thing running in there after they done did all the horrible shit that they could do to sustain themselves that's ungodly, but it's the way they've been taught, because remember, we've been educated by someone who did not have our best interest at hand when they educated us. So they taught us how to be pimps, they taught us how to be pushers, they taught us how to be all the derelicts that we know we mimic them to become. So what that means?
I'll be honest with you, man. I'd be honest with you. You know what? I would ask God to destroy them, man. I wouldn't even waste my time. If it's that bad, then the destruction that I thought I was praying for the white man for what he did, man, let God come and destroy these niggas.
Look, Sunchild, let me break. Don't you understand the dynamics between the black and the white? The white man is a melanin recessive black man. Okay, so that means
They ain't
that.
a racist when it comes to doomsday. That's all I'm saying.
But my point is this: you can't really,
Doomsday there.
you can't really address a complexion of whiteness without being hypocritical. That does not exist. You could, to be honest, you're gonna have to call it melanin recessive blackness, or you just gonna have to call it. You can't call it white. The only way you can call it white is that you can really constitute an existence of white, and since whiteness cannot reflect, since whiteness cannot absorb any light at all, it can't.
Yeah, all that is a word that backs the supremacy part of it.
That's absolutely right. Nothing can exist if it cannot retain light. Whiteness.
The only thing, black is powerful, and we represent that because niggas in Africa are black.
Right.
You know, they got some niggas in Africa so black the white man goes, damn. So watch this.
I go that. I be saying, damn, myself. Shit.
There is no white people because they're all pink and faded. But check it out. When they use that word, it's like the opposite of black, so it's like a way to counteract the power.
That's where the whole dichotomization came from, by creating white. That's what I tell everybody. The only way they could dichotomize the human family is that they had to create a way to dichotomize it, because otherwise people knew they were the same thing.
Damn, and then they even say that it's supreme to the black. It's supremacy, white supremacy. Like, when there's nothing but black supremacy, you already proved that the only supremacy there is black supremacy.
And that's not even supremacy, because in order to be black supremacy, you have to find something to be supreme over. Blackness has no reason to try to be supreme over anything, because it knows that it is an abiding principle, and it's already not even supreme. It's an abiding principle. It means that it is God. That means that you don't want to be supreme when you're already God. You have no reason to lower yourself to being supreme. You're already God.
Oh, I see. So black is omnipotent.
Well, put it this way. When God created man on earth, she knew what was the best material to make it out of, and so they did. Now, man came along later in his infinite wisdom, but not infinite enough to see what he was really doing. And that's the whole reason why we were given the wisdom, so we could make mistakes. And now once the mistakes like this were being made, with us having to deal with the outcome of creating this guy, you know what I'm saying? Now the wisdom that's going to come from the experiences that you had to go through after the creation, and then the experience you will achieve when you find the solution to the creation, all this stuff will just make you a wiser person. And you know better not to do certain things again. Sometimes you only do something one time, and you learn from that one time, well, I probably shouldn't do that shit again.
Right. Yeah.
But see, that's what it boils down to, man. It's all about experiences. Our Creator loves us so much that ain't nothing gonna come at you that you can't find the solution to it. Like I say, all problems ride with the solution in the same vehicle with them, because the problem came with something you invited, or it wouldn't be your problem. I done found that out. I done found it out in all my years on this earth.
We are people that have been confused by ourselves and we don't even realize.
That's absolutely right. You better believe it. Every time you go.
That's the saying, we've been confused by ourselves. And there are really a lot of black people out here that are trying to keep us confused.
Well, look, let me explain to you why. Because they're confused. They believe that their quest for extravagance and opulence and power, wealth, materialism is something that should be put above their fellow man. You know, it's like this, real simple. You sitting up, let's take the average woman with a crack habit. Now, she know last month her children starved to death because when she got the check, she went and brought all that food. She's sitting up planning 5 days in advance while she see her children is still hungry from her mistake she made at the beginning of this month. Here come 5 days to food stamps and check day again. She's sitting here right now anticipating spending that money on crack again when she know the damage she's causing to her children. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Now, this is something that is a disease. It's a sickness amongst us because we have been thrown into a circumstance where we have been oppressed by a person that has been studying books of philosophy to become a genuine oppressor. And the persons that he oppresses the most is our children. Starting from small kids to be rebellious. Look what this motherfucker is giving them signals. Don't get along with your father, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous how many families are destroyed because these fucking dumbass little kids can't understand how important it is to listen to guidance from your parents. Know every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And then the first thing that, whenever it's time to have unity with your family, you know every damn thing. But you don't know how to have no unity with your family though. So now you got one brother that's out there doing shit on one side of town, another brother doing shit on another side of town. They end up in 2 rival gangs and go home to the same house with each other at night. Okay? Or you got one motherfucker that's a Muslim and another one that's a Christian. Okay? Or what about this one? You got 2 cousins with all the women in town, this skanky hoe screwing both of them, and then one of them go shoot up the other house and bring that drama to their family. Just like what happened in Kemet. These kings fooling around with those barbarian women and those vagabond women and then get married to them, and then she kill his ass and let her son become the next king. All that type of stuff been going on with us from them forever. They learned how to implement that shit a long time ago, and it's still in effect right to this day. And look, it's really bad. Let me tell you how bad it is. If you look at the average young black man out there today, the average youth, let's say from 17 to 29, and I ain't even seen in LA, they 50 years old with their pants still sagging off their ass, okay? Look, man, let me tell you something. Anytime you got a whole nationality of what used to be strong-ass warriors, building pyramids in the hot desert all day, strong as hell, I mean, this is what you done become now. You walking around with your ass out as if you're not smart enough to understand for... You know, maybe your ass shouldn't be all out like that for people to be seeing your ass. What is wrong with you? It wouldn't be a problem if these women was walking around with their ass hanging out, but then you have a bunch of men. Now, listen what I'm saying. You would have a bunch of faggot-ass men that get on the news talking about it. And it's just a shame that all these women is walking around with their ass hanging out, unless they can sell that. If they can make a profit off of it like they do in the whole houses, it's okay. Other than that, it's disrespectful. Your mother will tell you, girl, don't let no man see up your dress, all right? All these years of training and rearing your children, all this effort being put into making girls make sure they don't show their panties and this and all that, right? But now here you got a man, supposed to be Mr. Macho and shit, right? And he walking around, and if you notice, they won't wear them little ugly, nasty, white cotton ones. No, they gotta have the little sexy shits on. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it and I fabricate a pattern behind it. I say not only is they just showing their draws, they making sure that they pick the most fancy, girliest looking ones they can find. Now, do you hear what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
How you notice that too?
Yeah.
How colorful they be?
Yeah, I check that out.
Do you see what I'm saying? And then he had the nerves to get on the thing. Now here you is with your booty hole hanging out. You probably got some grease in your damn handbag. And then you want to get on the train. And the essays is doing it too. I done seen some of them doing that shit too with their pants sagging. And then I get on the train and I'm standing there. I'm getting ready to go to work. And I'm just looking at it. I'm saying, there's something wrong with this. I can look at the whole vibe about that. And I'm saying, yo, there's something really seriously wrong with this. All these fools walking around here with their pants hanging off their ass. Yo, watch this too. Let me drop this on you too, man. I've been checking them out, right? You know something? The more